All right. All right. Here we go. Okay. Let's get going. Thank you for jumping on today. Here's the thing that I wanted to share with you before we get started. Master these 5 habits, and you won't just survive in real estate, you'll thrive. Lead generation, in my opinion, is the most important thing. You need to block out 90 minutes every day for focused prospecting. You need to track and measure your numbers, because if you track your contacts made, appointments set, listings taken, deals closed, you'll have a good, clear understanding of what's happening in your business. You need to set appointments daily. A day without a seller or buyer appointment is a red flag in your business. You need to follow up like a pro. You need to make sure that you're using your CRM, and at the end of the day, sharpen your skills. And that's the whole reason why you're on this call today. Role playing, studying scripts, watch what top producers are doing. Success leaves clues. So with that said, I always like to start off our program with one very important quote when it comes to learning. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I may remember, but involve me and I'll learn. That's Benjamin Franklin. So with that said, we've got a great program. I can't wait. I'm going to be probably more of a taking notes, more like anyone else. So are you ready to sharpen your skills, level up your business, and close more deals? Well, you don't want to miss this. Our special guest today, my good friend, we've known each other a long time. We've shared the same stage. I've spoke at his workshops and his trainings, and it's just been fantastic. I want to introduce you to my good friend, Beef Wellington with Career Compass, the #1 rated real estate agent success training on the planet, if I'm not mistaken. Right, Beef?
Well, in California, but I can't speak for everything else.
Well, you know what? Welcome to the call, Beef. How you doing, man?
I am doing good. Where'd you get that picture?
That picture, I probably swiped it off your Facebook, or maybe I took it at one of your classes. I can't remember.
You know, if you took that picture, you got to text me that one. That was great. We're gonna make that the picture of the entire company right there. I mean, why not? I mean,
Yeah,
look at that. That's insane.
I think I took that at one of your classes, whether it be Pasadena, Anaheim, I can't remember, but I will certainly share it with you, my friend.
Cool. Love it.
So let's get started. Who's Beef Wellington?
That is a very good question. Besides being a dish that Gordon Ramsay makes, I am the what am I? I am one of the speakers for thecareercompass.com, which is the #1 largest real estate success seminar in the state of California. When we say real estate, we don't mean buying and flipping and that get rich quick stuff. We're talking about actually for realtors, real estate professionals, licensed people. We are the #1 seminar, the largest seminar. We have over 40,000 members, which makes us the largest group of realtors in the state of California, second only to CAR itself. So we are very happy. And Robert, you're one of the reasons that we have that. We've reached that kind of level of success because we've had people like yourself come in and train, partner with yourself. And I got to say, the beard is looking great, dude. You are looking like old man winter. That is, I will send you my Just for Men. You'll be able to get that just like this. Anyway, Career Compass not only has the #1 live seminar in the state of California and the most members, we also renew your license. So if you are in California, so I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm sorry to Melissa. I'm sorry, Melissa, but you're not in California, but it's okay. We've got some stuff for you too. So you renew your license, you get the #1 real estate success training in the state of California. You get to come back for free for life. It's a lifetime thing. We even have an open bar. It doesn't get any better than that. And there's only 2 types of people in the state of California, as far as realtors: people that come to the Career Compass and people that don't know about it. Because if you knew about it, you'd never get training and license renewal anywhere else for any other reason. It's like a Rolls Royce versus a mule. So that's who we are. We've been in business for 18 years. And we do 6 to 8 of our large 2-day seminars every single year. They're right on our website, which is thecareercompass.com, just like it sounds, The Career Compass. And we also have one of the fastest growing coaching and mentoring programs in the history of California with our C4, which stands for Career Compass Concierge Connection. And if you want some recorded material, we have the best selling recorded training success program in California history called The Greatest Hits. That's who we are. 3 products, 1 company. This is our C4 banner. I'm Beef Wellington, and that's who we are, and that's what we do. And we are the best deal and the best training in the state of California, going on 18 years.
Well, here's a huge testimonial. I tell you this, every time I've ever been, I mean, I've been coming to your courses for quite some time. I've renewed my license multiple times every 4 years. But I come and explain a little bit about the renewal. Sure, there's the renewal, but you get to go for free. Once you become a member, you get to go over and over whether you're renewing your license or not. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yep. When you buy a membership to the Career Compass, it's a one-time fee, and it's $195. We've never raised our prices in 18 years, if you imagine that. Even through the inflation that we've had in the last 4 years, we've never raised our prices. It's $195 one time. You get to come to any seminar, which is 6 to 8 of them a year. You can come just for the great training. You can come for the license renewal as well. You can come just to go to the open bar. You can come just to meet people and network if you want. It's a great, great organization. You get to come back for free. If you're with EXP, let me tell you something that Brent Gove said. Brent Gove says, if you're working on your downline, there's no better opportunity to work on that than the Career Compass. So if you're with EXP and you're not going to the Career Compass, you are literally ignoring the number one way to build your business if you're with EXP. If you're not with EXP, it's the number one way to build your business because the training is unbelievable. We teach things that Brian Buffini, Tom Ferry, Mike Ferry, Craig Proctor, Joe Stump, and all the rest of them never teach. And we do that on purpose because they teach door knocking, cold calling, and database management, pretty much pop buys, SEO, things like that. We teach things that most people have never heard and will never hear. Things like the 7% technique, the EAT, the PAT, the lawyer letter. Okay. We have a video, everybody, of Robert doing a testimonial about the lawyer letter. He got 7 listings from that technique. Unbelievable. He probably got more than that, but that was just at that time. So we teach tools and techniques that most realtors will never learn. And that's the key, because most realtors think that the only way to get deals, the only way to close properties is to database manage, door knocking, cold call. And you know what? Those things are tried and true and they work. But there are so many more ways to get listings and make money in real estate and serve your clients even better than you normally would. So that's what we focus on.
I love it. I love it. I'll tell you, if you guys haven't figured it out yet, there's a lot of energy coming from Beef, and he's like that all the time. It's amazing. It's infectious. So thank you, B, for being on. Let's dive right into the topic of the day. The biggest mistakes realtors make in a down market. Can you expand on that for me?
Yeah, I can. I don't have a PowerPoint presentation for you guys, but I'd be happy to send one to Robert if you like. Basically, what's going on, and let me kind of explain this. Here's what's happening in real estate right now. The top 9 to 12% of all realtors are having the best years they've ever had, including COVID. Now, how is that possible when everybody else is down 50 to 80%? Okay, the top 9 to 12 are doing things in a down market, in a slow market, in a market where there's a lot of sellers that aren't selling right now because they're aging in place or they don't want to finance out of their 2.5 interest rate. And you got a lot of buyers who are waiting for interest rates to come down when they're really not going to. So you've got that situation, because normally when you approach the summer selling season, which we're approaching right now, you're going to have a surge in your business. I mean, we all know that summer selling is awesome, right, Rob? I mean, you've done it. Okay. So you got a summer selling season. This summer selling season is not going to be anywhere near typical normal levels. And the reason why is because in a summer selling season, you can rely on who? Your database to sell a certain number of houses, to buy a certain number of houses. A lot of those listings are not going to happen because I'm still not going to sell my house because I have a 2.5% interest rate, which I refinanced or bought during COVID. And so people who normally would sell are not selling. People who normally would buy aren't buying. Some people are, some people aren't. That's why it's slow, but not dead. Well, here's what's happening with the top 9 to 12%, which, by the way, we have a higher percentage. Ready for this one, Rob? You'll love this. In 2024 and 2025 numbers are starting to look pretty similar. In those 2 years, we have a record number of agents who have not done one single deal. Ready for this? 74% of all NAR realtors, all of them in the United States, 74% as of June of 2024. So the first half of last year had 0 deals done. 74%. That's never happened. By the end of the year, 47% still were at 0. So are you saying, Wellington, that almost half of all the realtors in the United States did 0 deals in 2024? Yep, that's what I'm saying. And 2025 is slightly better, but not much. But once again, you've got the 9 to 12% that are doing better than they've ever done. Why? Here's why. Take whatever normal number of deals that you would get. Let's say it's 10. Okay, let's say you get 10 deals. Okay, how many are you getting this year? 5. That's the average. Some people are getting 2, some people are getting 8, some people are getting 9, 4, whatever it is. But the average realtor, if they expect 10 in a down market, in a down year, which this is, are going to get 5. Okay, so there's your 5. Now, here's what you should be doing. You should be doing, instead of taking 10 minus the 5 that you are missing, you should be getting 30. Hold on a second. What are you saying, Wellington? Are you saying that I'm only doing 1/3 of the business that I should do? Yes, you are only doing 1/3 of all the listings that you're doing. Here's why. Because what you've done is you've relied on relationships. I'm going to say a couple things in this podcast that are going to shock and piss off and offend a lot of people. Okay, here's the first one. Here's the softball one. Your relationships are no longer the most important thing in real estate. What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Okay, here's what I mean. Okay. For the last 50 years, we have been told by every training out there that relationships are the most important thing. Well, they are important and they are good, because if somebody knows you and likes you, they'll probably list with you. But let me ask you a quick question. Is that all you're relying on? Here's my point. People have equity now. In the state of California, you got $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 in equity. Just because people like you and know you isn't enough anymore for them to list with you. You have to show numerically how you can use tools and techniques like the 7% technique, like the 7% extreme technique, to put more money in their pocket. Let me give you an example. I'm selling my house. I got $1 million house and 700,000 of it of his equity, like everybody in California. Okay. Now, selling my house. Let's say I've known Robert Weichelt for 10 years, and he's been using the Ford method on me every 90 days for the last 10 years. He's calling me up and going, hey, Wellington, how's the family? How's the occupation? How's the recreation? How's the dreams? Just like we've been learning from every Brian Buffini and Tom Ferry and Mike Ferry seminar for the last 50 years. Fantastic. I know you. I like you somewhat. I take your phone calls, whatever. But I meet a guy, or I meet Melissa, since I got her, where is she? Melissa Minter, okay? I meet her in the grocery store, and she says to me, okay, we're talking. She's got a little name tag. I said, oh, you're a realtor? Oh, I was thinking about selling my house. And she says, well, before you do anything, before you list with anybody, I have this proprietary system called the 7% technique that not only, I can show you this numerically, not only will put more of your equity in your pocket, in some cases, more than your equity. Wait a minute, what do you mean? I have $700,000 in equity. And she goes, yeah, in some cases, based on the market, I can actually put more than $700,000 in your pocket. How do you put more money than exists? I'll show you how. And it happens in a fraction of the amount of time, okay? And I'll sell your house for more than any other realtor. And I'm not just saying this like every other realtor does. I can show it to you numerically. Now, if I meet her and she says that to me, what is the chance of me getting her a listing presentation? 100%. I want to know what the hell she's doing. And when she presents the 7% technique to me, I'm like, well, I want more money. So, Robert, I know you for 10 years. You've been calling me using the Ford method for the last 10 years. But you know what? What's more important than relationships now? Post-COVID, post-DOJ judgment, money is more important. Ask any of your sellers what they would do in a national survey by the National Association of Realtors. Guess how much money one unknown realtor would have to prove they can put in the seller's pocket for the seller to go with that unknown realtor versus somebody they know for 10 years. Ready? $5,000. $5,000. That's what your relationships are worth. Now, I know this sounds very antisocial, and we've been told that relationships. That's not the most important thing anymore. You know what? More important than relationships, your skill and your tools and techniques and your expertise and professionalism to put more money in that seller's pocket, and you have to be able to show it to them numerically, okay? So here's what's happened for the last 40 years. We've had a situation where what you're doing is all your time, work, effort, money, and everything you put into your business has been spent on doing what? Getting relationships that you hope become a transaction. So in other words, what you're doing is you're buying relationships that you want to become transactions. Okay, what the 9 to 12% are doing, they're having the best years of their life. They are not buying relationships that become transactions. They're doing that too, because they're still managing their database. But what they're also incorporating tools like the deal a week technique, okay, the back of the business card technique, okay, the lattes or referrals technique, which are techniques that bring transactions to you, not based on any relationship. Now, hold on a second. How do you get a transaction that's not based on a relationship? Okay? Guys, there are literally dozens of tools and techniques the Career Compass teaches that basically bring transactions straight to your door that have nothing to do with relationships, meaning people are going to list with you and buy with you, and they have never met you before the listing presentation. So, for example, Robert, in one example, like the lawyer letter. Okay, let me give you the lawyer letter. So, Robert, question for you. Those 7 listings that you took, had you known those people prior to meeting them through the lawyer?
No, I did not know the attorneys. No.
Okay. So in other words, what we got a situation here where you have listings that came to you from people you've never met before and don't know, right?
Correct.
So did you call these people for the last 10 years every 90 days and use the Ford method on them?
No, not in the lawyer letter world. No.
Exactly. And you got 7 listings. So let's think about that for a second. So there's 7 listings that Robert got that had nothing to do with any relationship he had with the seller. It had to do with the referral and the relationship he had with the lawyer, but that's different. Now let's look at another technique. Okay, let's look at the deal a week technique, where you go to the courthouse. You sit in the back of the eviction court. When the manager, owner, flipper, investor walks down the hallway after 8 months of trying to get somebody out, you walk up to him and you say, "Excuse me, sir, I don't want to waste any of your time, but I have dozens of investors who will buy any property in any condition, close in 10 days, anything you want to sell." You've got him at the weakest moment of his life. So you get that listing, then you sell it to an investor. You're the listing agent, then you're the buying agent on that same property. Then 90 days later, the investor sells that and you're the listing agent, and you sell it to a holder. A holder is somebody who buys a property for the positive cash flow. So you're the listing agent for the flipper, and you're the buyer's agent for the holder. And then you go back to the original owner and then reinvest his money into a property that doesn't have so many evictions. That's 5 closings. Not one of those closings had anything to do with relationships. These are the things. That is 2 very solid, ironclad examples of what the top 9 to 12% are doing now to get the other 2/3 of their business that most realtors will never get. Because let me tell you something, if you're a real estate professional and what you're doing to promote your business is door knocking, cold calling, database management, and posting on Facebook, and all the same exact thing that every realtor out there is doing. If you're doing exactly what everybody else is doing, you're going to get the exact same results, and it's 1/3 of the business that you should be doing, because you could be incorporating tools and techniques that get you the other 2/3 of your business that you've never gotten before, that you should be getting. But most realtors don't do that because they've been taught the lie, the absolute lie, that relationships are the only thing in real estate. And by the way, ready? Here's the next thing that's going to piss everybody off. Here's what basically relationships are everything says. Because if you're relying on somebody to list with you because they know you and like you, okay? Question for everybody. Ready? Question. Would you choose a brain surgeon to save your brain who you knew? No. You choose the best one. It could be your worst enemy, and you choose the best one. Would you choose, okay? Would you choose an attorney to keep you out of jail that you liked? No. You're going to choose the best attorney. Why don't we apply that in real estate? Here's why. Okay, this is going to offend everybody. The subconscious, back here, the subconscious idea of real estate, not only amongst realtors, but the general population, is that realtors are all the same. Tell me another business that people use that business because they know them and like them versus the business being the best. If you go to a grocery store and their inventory is crap and you can't buy what you want, just because you like the guy who owns the store, you're not going to keep coming back. Okay, this is the only business that we use a realtor because we know them and like them. And that basically inherently says that all realtors are the same. Well, they're not. And if you use tools and techniques to show your sellers and your buyers that you're way better when it comes to money, professionalism, creativity, and doing this business, guess what happens? People now start to insist on you, not just list with you because, well, we know him. For example, right before this talk, I was talking to Robert about a guy that just door knocked my house. Okay, he was selling the house across the street, a neighbor that I know. And you want to know how he got the listing? I talked to the neighbor. He goes, well, he was an old friend. Not he's the best realtor, not he's a good realtor, not he knows this and that, not he's done this. He's an old friend. See, that seller, that neighbor of mine just proved that she thinks that all realtors are the same. So you might as well pick the friend that you've got, because it's all the damn same, because most sellers think as long as it gets on Zillow, it's all the same. That is not true. And the people who are crushing it right now in the market are the people that are incorporating tools and techniques that shows that they are the best realtor. So even people that don't like you still list with you, because if I don't like Robert, and I do, okay, he's a great guy, but if I don't like him, but I know he can get me 50 grand more for my house, guess what? Who's getting my listing? Robert Weichelt. That's the difference right now. And that's why your business is down. If you learn these tools and techniques, it becomes very, very easy. If you don't, you're going to keep doing the same thing that you're doing, which is half of 1/3 of your business.
Wow, that's awesome. I hope everybody's taking notes, because I certainly am. I've got 3 pages of notes and almost forgot that I was hosting an event. So thank you, dude. You know what? Let's dive a little bit deeper in some of the other techniques that you guys are sharing with your agents at the Career Compass. What are some of the latest and greatest tools you're busting out?
Well, I mean, like I mentioned before, the deal of the week technique is people are killing it with right now. The lawyer letter is killing it right now. The EAT, the PAT are people are killing it right now with that. But I want to touch on the 7% technique, because right now we're still in the midst of the BRBC, as I call the BRBC BS. Okay. Okay. So for those of you who are not in the state of California, the BRBC is basically the contract between the buyer and the buyer's agent that we now have to have. Some of the states out there, even the state of confusion and denial, still have to have that no matter what. You've had that for years. Okay. Well, we now have to have that in the state of California. Most brokerages are making the buyer's agent get a BRBC signed before they show houses, which is fine. It's stupid, but it's fine. And this all came around because now in the MLSs, we don't have any commissions, do we? Well, we don't have commissions. So now we have this wave of realtors that are doing some of the dumbest thing I've ever heard. The dumbest thing I've ever heard, okay, with the exception, unless you have some proprietary system, okay, like Robert Weichelt does, okay, unless you have some proprietary system, what they're doing is they're going, well, I don't have to put a commission in the MLS, so I guess I'll just leave the commission on the buy side zero. Ready? So back to the guy that door knocked me, okay, and I'll get to the house. This relates to 7% technique in a minute. So the guy door knocked me, so I'm talking to him, blah, blah, blah. And I say, let me ask you a quick question, okay? What do you got on the buy side as far as commission? He goes, well, nothing right now. We're just going to wait for the offers to come in. And when based on the offers that we get, I'll negotiate the buy side commission with the seller and then pay the buyer's agent. I'm like, okay, here's my next question. Ready? Here's my third and final piss everybody off in a fan. Ready? What is your value? As a listing agent, if what you're doing is what I call the 2.5 0, or in some cases 3 0, whatever you're putting on your listing side, 2.5 or 3 doesn't make any difference. Okay, you get 2.5 or 3%, and then you put a 0 on the buy side. Here's my question. Ready? What is your value as a listing agent? I asked this guy that question at the door, right here at the door. Okay, you know what he said? There's this long, pregnant, awkward pause. He's like, well, there's forms that have to be filled out. So in other words, the value, you're 3%. You're 2.5% of a $1.3 million house across the street, okay, is forms. That is pathetic. If that is your answer, get out of real estate. What you should be doing is doing something called the 7% technique, okay, which is something that we taught long before the DOJ judgment, but now it works even better. It is the savior of the business. This is the revolution of this business. Let me show you how it works. Now, right now, you got all these people out there that are putting 2.5 and 0. And before the DO judgment, they put 2.5 and 2.5. That was 98% of all listings on the MLS for 2.5, 2.5. Okay. And they go, well, I've got to put a commission on the buy side. Why are you not putting one on now? So in other words, if you're not putting a commission on the buy side, and what you're saying with Wellington, there's nothing on the buy side, that doesn't mean you can't put a commission on the buy side and advertise it through text, email, zip my flyer, caravan, office meeting, website, social media, and everything else that you have a 2.5, 3, maybe 4% commission on the buy side. So let me ask you a quick question. I just saw a video. You know what? Maybe I can find it here. Hold on a second. You guys will love this. You guys will absolutely love this. There's a video I want to show you, which is exactly what's going on here. Now, watch this. Okay. I want to show you this here. Okay, that's not it. Hold on. Bear with me.
What do you think?
Oh,
I love it. Huh? Yeah. Yes. I forgot to tell you, this is one of the houses that wasn't offering compensation. Wait, what does that mean? That just means you have to pay my commission. That's it. I don't really like it that much. Okay, we'll see another one. Yeah.
You get it? So these buyers walk up on this house and go, oh, I love it. This is a perfect house for me. I want to buy it. Yes, this is my dream home. Yes. And then the listing or the buyer's agent goes, well, this is one of the houses that's not offering a buy side commission. In other words, compensation, as he put it. Okay. And then the buyers go, well, what does that mean exactly? Oh, and the buyer's agent goes, oh, it just means that you have to pay my commission instead of the seller paying it. And they go, oh, I don't really like it. Let's see something else. They walk away. Get it, everybody? Does everybody get it? I know Melissa does because she's smiling. Okay, does everybody get this? Okay, now think about this for a second. You've got a situation where most of these agents are doing the stupidest thing in the world, which is putting no buy-side commission on it. What in the world is motivating any buyer's agent to come and show your house? What? Nothing. Because not only do they see that they may not even get paid, because if the offer isn't good enough, then guess what they're going to do? They're going to get 0 from the seller, right? So now they're going to have to go and have that really uncomfortable conversation with their buyer about how the buyer, because of the BRBC BS, they owe the commission. And by the way, just so you'll know, 87% of all people in the United States, 87% of all buyers in the United States, okay, cannot afford to pay their down payment, closing costs, and a buyer's agent commission. So much for that. So let me put you in a situation, okay? I'm standing outside a house and I'm a buyer's agent. I got a buyer. That house works and that house works. That house over there has a 4% commission on it. And I've been told that by the listing agent in about 12 texts, 3 emails. I saw him at the caravan. I saw him at my office meeting. There's a sign writer outside the house. He zipped a flyer to me. It's on his website, and it's on his social media. So I can't even get it out of my head that this guy's got a big old fat, heavily incentivized buy-side commission. Wow, that sounds great. Okay, this guy over here, I'm just going to wait for the offers to come in and negotiate the commission with this seller. Okay, which of these houses am I going to show? Not this one ever. I'm going over here and I'm going to do everything I can to get my buyer to buy this house because it's got the commission on it. Now, figure this out, folks. Let's go over the 7% technique. Here's what you do. Number one, you take the listing, you take the comp value of the house, add 1% to it. Okay, that's compensate for the commission. Then you put a 3% on your side because I've never seen anybody ever balk, any seller ever balk at a 3% on the listing side when you do this. Okay, simple math means we're going to put a what? We're going to put a 4% commission on the buy side. Now, what does this do? Well, most sellers go, well, that's taking money out of my pocket. Oh, no, sir. Here's why. That 4% is going to create something called a feeding frenzy. Every single buyer's agent in town is going to show that house. Absolutely, the very first house they show, they're going to try to sell it. Hey, the open house that you have is going to have a line of buyer's agents standing outside. They want that 4% because they don't know what they're going to get with everything else. So what happens when houses get shown first, more, and with more and more? Okay, you get into a bidding war almost every single time. The worst offer you ever get will be list price. So everything else that you sell takes 3 months to sell, and you're going to get 95 to 98% of list price because that's the national average right now. This house over here is going to sell in about 2 days. And guess what it's going to sell for? It's going to sell for list price or well above, maybe even 110% above, because every buyer's agent wants that big fat 4% commission. Mike Drew in La Jolla. La Jolla. Keller Williams, La Jolla. List a house. It's a $1.3 million house. All the comps said 1.3. The best agents in town all said, well, gee whiz, I'm such a great agent and I've sold so many houses, yay, that I can get 135 for your house because I'm so great in La Jolla and there's lots of money here. So Mike says, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the 7% technique on this house. In fact, I'm going to put something called the 7% extreme technique on this house. Wait until I show you that one. That will blow your mind. Ready? Listed on Tuesday. You can look this up in Sandecor or whatever the hell they call it these days. Idiots. Anyway, nice corruption down there, SDAR. Way to go. Hey, did you get that $1 million back or is he still in the Bahamas? Okay, back to this. Anyway, so sorry, we had some corruption. Okay. $1 million flying out. What do you think this is? Ukraine? Okay, so back to the, anyway, point being. So Mike lists the house on Tuesday using the 7% extreme technique. By Thursday, he had 21 buyer's agents doing this. Finally, some guy calls him and goes, dude, I'm tired of putting in offers and getting outbid. What do you need? And Mike goes, what do you need? You tell me what I need. Okay. How about this? Sight unseen, no showings, no open houses. The first open house wasn't until Saturday. This was Thursday night. No open houses, no showings, 1.6 million, no appraisal contingency. We'll take it. Closed escrow at 1.6. Now, before any of you go, ain't willing to praise at 1.6. Wah, 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 wah. Okay. If you don't know how to get a house closed, okay, that's got a higher price than the highest appraised value, you shouldn't be in this damn business, but it's called the delta, guys. You've got the down payment, the closing costs, and the difference in cash between the highest appraised value and the sales price. We all did it in COVID 1,000 times a day. Okay, now you know how. So sell it for 1.6, close 1.6. The doctor who owned the house. So let me get this straight, Robert, Mike Drew. Let me get this straight. You sold this house for $200,000 more than the offer pad and the iBuyers were offering. Yep. You sold for $300,000 more than its comps, and you sold for $400,000 more, okay, than any of the other agents. Yep, sure did. He goes, come to work with me next week. I'm going to introduce you to 10 more doctors who are all moving out of La Jolla to Texas or Idaho. Is that the way you want to run your business? It is. Now let's talk about money. He got 3% on his side. 3%. An average agent would get 2 to 2.5% of a $1.3 million house would be about $26,000 to $30,000. Mike Drew got 3% of 1.6, which is 48 grand. So he already beat the other realtors by about 10 grand already on his worst day. But he did something that most agents, I'm going to say is ready. I want everybody to hear this. Everybody hear this. Ready? Ready? If you do not know what commission override clauses are, you are lost in this world. Lost in this world. What's a commission override, Wellington? Here's what a commission override is. Okay, it's a clause in the note section, additional comment section, or remark section of the contract that basically says, Mr. Seller, if I perform unbelievably well, will you compensate me for my unbelievable performance? And the answer is yes. So, for example, let's say that Robert went in and said, hey, Mr. Seller, the comp value is 1.4. At 1.5, at 1.3, Okay, that's the comp value, 1.3. At 1.4, you've made $100,000 more. Would you be happy with me if I sold your house for 1.4? Oh my God, $100,000 more? Of course I'd be happy with you. Fantastic. What we're going to do is 10% of everything above 1.4, which is your unbelievable number. You're going to give to me 10%. You keep 90%. The doctor goes, let me get this straight. You're saying that every dime, every dollar, every $100 bill over 1.4, which is already what? 100 grand over comps. You're going to want a 10% of that, any money over 1.4. That's right. Doctor says, hell yeah, I'd take that deal all day long. I mean, let me ask you a quick question. All right, let me ask you Mike. Mike in South Bay, SFV, whatever it is, in Los Angeles. Okay, so Mike, let me ask you a quick question. Mike, right there. You, right there. You. Okay, so Mike, question for you. If I give you $100, Mike, will you give me $10? Yes or no? Go. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes,
if I
sir.
give you 100, okay, so Mike, every $100 bill I give you, you'll give me $10?
Yeah, man.
Fantastic. That's called the commission override clause. Go to the no section, additional comment section, mark says in the contract. Okay. So ready? It's sold for 1.6. Ready? The commission override clause, yes, was $20,000. And the doctor said that bonus of yours, Mike, should have been more because of what you did with this house was unbelievably extraordinary. So Mike didn't make $48,000. He made $68,000 in 2 days. The doctor says you made more than twice as much money as an average realtor would make on this house, and I still think you were underpaid. Is that how you want to run your business? Damn right it is. That's how every single seller that looks you in the sockets of your soul should say this: you made more than twice as much money as an average realtor makes on this house, and I think you were underpaid. You're that good. When you are doing those kind of things, relationships don't really matter that much because everybody's coming to you because it's about money and performance. There you go. Now,
that was awesome.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
And last thing, the 7% extreme technique is where you have an adjustable commission based on the offers. 5, 6, 7% to the buyer's agent, and you just increase the commission override to compensate you, and everybody makes money. Unbelievable techniques. Thank you.
I love it. I tell you, I'm so entertained right now. This is fantastic. And I hope everybody on this call is getting some good nuggets. And Beef, if you can get a minute, maybe you or your staff could pop in your information so they can get a hold of you. And if they're in California, they can get their renewal credits, or they can just go in there and learn and build and grow the 7% technique, the lawyer letter that you use. What are some other things you've going on that you'd like to share today?
Well, a lot of, let me put this in here for everybody. I'm going to put in the website. The website is simply just thecareercompass.com. So 3 words, thecareercompass.com. Is that, I don't know if I got that. Did it go in there? Okay. My cell phone, I'm going to give everybody my cell phone, which I normally don't, but Robert's people are extra special. Okay. Hold on. 840-9355. Okay. Thecareercompass.com. 619-840-9355 is my cell phone. If you click that link right there, you go straight to our website. You can see all of our events coming up. We have, what do we have here? We have coming up in June, on June 26th and 27th, we have Pechanga Resort and Casino in Temecula. If any of you California agents want to come to the seminar, I'll tell you how to get to Temecula. You go south on the 15 till it hits 100 degrees, turn left. You're there. So that's what it'll be in June. In August, if you want to stay a little cooler, you can go to the one in Tustin, which is our Orange County location. That's really neat, the Tustin Convention Center. And then we'll be back in Tustin and Orange County. And we just got done, and we're going to be doing it again, the Hard Rock Hotel in Sacramento. So we're also going to be booking those. But so all of those events are available. Our C4 coaching is available. Our greatest hits is available. But my strong suggestion, folks, is to come to the Career Compass seminar, because here's what happens. I mean, we have license renewal through other programs too, but through our third-party affiliate company, which is the best in California, when you come to the Career Compass, you get your license renewed as a member benefit. So basically what happens is not only do you get all this great training, but you don't have to sit there for weeks and weeks and weeks and read endless books and take terrible endless tests. You just come to the Career Compass, and the easiest, fastest license renewal available in California is a benefit of being a member of the Career Compass. It doesn't get any better than that. So not only are you going to get tools and techniques like I just talked about, but you're going to get all kinds of other stuff, which is absolutely unbelievable. So that's the kind of thing that you want to do. Now, other things that we're talking about coming up for the summer selling season are things like the golf course view technique. And the ice cream for ice cream technique, all of those are really great. The latte referrals technique, that's all really great as well. So we have all these techniques, and a lot of them don't have anything to do with hammering your database that's full of people that don't want to sell right now. It basically brings transactions straight to you that aren't based on relationship. And that's the other 2/3 of your business. If you are a regular realtor and you're doing 6, 8, 10 deals, take that number and in a normal year, take the number of deals that you would do and triple it. That's the number that you should be getting, because 2/3 of your business should and can come from sources that don't have anything to do with your database. Your database should only be 1/3 of your business. A lot of trainers say that that's not true, and they're just wrong. Okay, that's all there's to it. So you're getting about 1/3 of your business, because what you're doing is you're spending all your time, money, and effort hammering your database to get transactions out of relationships. There's lots of ways to get transactions that don't have anything to do with relationship. Robert and I were just talking about one the other day. If you're not doing the lawyer letter, God, you've got to do that one. And here's the problem with the lawyer letter, because we're teaching that right now too. There are 6 steps that you have to get past to get a lawyer or a law firm to refer you instantaneously by cell phone, speed dial, anytime they have a client sitting in front of them that wants to buy, sell, rent, or lease. Now, let me ask you a quick question. Okay. And who else can we pick on here? Because we already picked on Mike, we picked on Leanne. Anybody else? Let's see. How about we pick on Roy, if Roy's there, okay? So let me ask you a quick question. Anybody on the call, Roy or anybody else, okay? What percentage of all the listings that are in the MLS are there because of reasons that the seller didn't anticipate when they first bought the house? Let me explain. So let's say that I get married to Mary Jo Kopechne. Hey, a little RFK reference there. Anyway, let's say that I get married to Mary Jo. Okay, now, and everything in our life is going great. Okay, we've been in the house for 6 or 7 years, and we got a couple of kids that that somewhat look like me, and one of them looks like the neighbor. But who knows? But women are more attached to their children because they're more sure that they're their own. But anyway, back to this. Okay, so. But there are a large number of children in the Tijuana area with this nose. But I don't go down there anymore. Because last time I went down there, I heard Poppy Beef. I'm kidding. It was actually Poppy Carne. But anyway, point being, that's a whole nother country. It doesn't count. I've only been married 4 times. Robert was at that 5th one. That was in Vegas. It was a null. Done. Okay. Now, point being, so with the lawyer letter, there are 6 steps you have to get over to get a lawyer to partner with you. Most of you have sent letters to lawyers, and it didn't work, because you missed one of those steps. Number 1, you got to address it correctly. Number 2, you got to get it past the gatekeeper. Number 3, you've got to get past the assistant. Number 4, you've got to get it onto the lawyer's desk. 5, they have to read it, and 6, they have to respond. Most of the time, you never got past 2 or 3. Now, let me just explain what I mean. Okay, I don't know if I got one around here. Your lawyer letter, okay, since I don't have a visual here, your lawyer letter should be a number 10 white envelope, not a postcard and not a cute Hallmark. Number 10 white non-window envelope. Lawyer's information on the front, not your picture, not your name, not your brokerage, not your logo, nothing like that. Just your return address in the top left. What does this do? That's addressed correctly, because here's what the gatekeeper thinks. The gatekeeper thinks this is either a subpoena for a non-civil or for a civil action, non-criminal action, because they don't have to be certified. They think it's a correspondence from a client, or the third thing they think is a check. They're not throwing that away. So it gets past the gatekeeper. Now, with a rubber stamp in red ink, you put confidential right on the right-hand lower corner in a slight angle. That gets it past the assistant, because the assistant's going to open it and know it's not one of those 3 things I just described and throw it away. But if it says confidential, it now gets to the lawyer's desk. Now, when it gets there, it's got to be open red. I can't go over it right now because I don't have a thing here, but Robert can direct you in the right direction. If you want to go to our website, The Career Compass, once again, thecareercompass.com, you will find an example of the lawyer letter. We've already written it for you. Don't change it, okay? Both paragraphs talk about who? The lawyer, not you. The problem with most realtors is they go, I'm such a great realtor and you should like me and you should use me because I'm so great and I like myself. Crap. They don't care about you, okay? They don't care about themselves. You say, the purpose of this letter, 5 most common words in lawyering. The purpose of this letter, okay, is to establish a strategic alliance, or more reciprocal referral relationship with your law firm and my brokerage or my real estate company, okay? We would like to use you, Mr. Lawyer, Mrs. Lawyer, as a resource for our clients and ourselves if we ever need lawyering. What did I just say? I just told them I'm going to bring them business. They're still reading. If you just launch into how great you are, nobody gives a crap. Let me ask, anyway, let's go back to Mike again because he's not paying attention. Mike, start paying attention. Okay. Okay. So, Mike, are you married? Yeah, say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, you are married. Let me ask you a quick question. The first date with your wife, did you just talk about yourself and how great you are?
No.
No. What did you talk about? Who did you talk about, Michael?
The movie.
No. God damn it. No. You talked about her, Michael. That's why she married you, because you're interested in her, not just yourself. Okay, that's the problem. Realtors. Okay. Anyway, back to this. You talk about the lawyer. So there'll be no monetary referral for this, Mr. Lawyer. So in other words, in the first paragraph says, I'm going to bring you business. I'm not going to charge you a thing for it. Okay. And then it goes into how, and in return, in the second paragraph, the only time you're talking about yourself is in return, we would like to offer Patriot Real Estate, we'd like to offer Mike Real Estate as a resource whenever you have somebody who wants to buy, sell, rent, or lease. So now the lawyer has a fast track to you. I'm available between 1 and 5 on weekdays, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'm a realtor, so I take every Monday and Friday off, and I work until I work from 1 to 1:15 on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, whatever. Okay. And then your salutation at the end. That's it. Okay. That's a lawyer letter. Don't change it. All you got to do is put the lawyer's name at the top, your name at the bottom, and send it out just like Robert did. He sent out 104 letters and got 7 listings. That's all you have to do. That technique has nothing to do with your database and nothing to do with your damn relationships. Yet there's techniques. So instead of spending all your time, money, and effort, okay, buying relationships that you hope become transactions to get the other 2/3 of your business, use your time, money, and resources just basically buying the transaction. So in this case, what did you do? You put all your time buying the transaction, not the relationship. That's the other 2/3 of your business, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why 9 to 12% of all the realtors are killing it right now. And the other 88% are dying on the vine.
You know what, regarding that lawyer letter, and that's, by the way, that's huge. And I can certainly recommend doing it. I found that the first couple of relationships I built in the attorney world, they referred me to their attorney buddies because they always want to refer somebody that's going to kick ass and take names for them. So do not forget to obviously continue to ask for referrals in that space as well. Beef, that's a 7% technique, the lawyer letter. Great stuff, man. Wow. Let's do this. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about before we go to a Q&A, Beef? That's okay.
I could talk all day, but I don't want to fill everybody's brain up too much, and we're already at 1:45. So why don't we go ahead and answer any questions that anybody has about Career Compass, about tools, techniques, about getting listings, about making money, or anything else like that? Because our program, guys, our seminar, our coaching, and as well as our greatest hits. And by the way, Robert has the greatest hits. Okay. And I'm hoping he's teaching you guys some of the stuff out of the greatest hits because you need to listen to him. Because I'm pointing this way because this is where the box is. Okay. He is a wealth of information. And we've had Robert at our seminar teaching his way of doing it. And not only does he get stuff from us, we get stuff from him. So he is a wealth of information. But all 3 of the products that we have at Career Compass can help you be successful in real estate. And we have tens of thousands of agents that prove that.
Excellent. Well, let's go ahead and open it up for some Q&A. Who would like to ask a question? I know, Mike, you have to have a question, brother. Roy, it looks like Roy's raised his hand, and we'll get to you, Mike. Roy, go ahead.
So, hey, absolutely awesome. Love the presentation. You just need to back off on the caffeine, maybe a little bit. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on.
Okay.
Roy. Is it caffeine or is it my cocaine and Red Bull?
Don't waste it on the Red Bull. Okay.
Oh my God, that's great.
Yes.
Go ahead, Roy.
So I am a product of the 70s, so I'll be nice. So real quick, you said something about a golf course view that caught my attention and a latte. Could you just, I know you don't have a lot of time. Could you just kind of give us a quick overview of what you were talking about?
Yep. You go to a golf course. Okay. And this is one of my favorite ones because it's like lazy man's real estate. So very quickly, the people who go golfing, okay, most people who golf are homeowners. You want to know why? I mean, it's like 95%. Because if you can afford to golf, you can afford a house. In fact, many people golf on the very golf course where they live, okay, or very, very close. So the number of homeowners in the golf course community is much, much higher than anywhere else. So that's the first thing you do. So you go to a golf course and you say to the manager, let's say Robert's the manager, hey, Robert, Mr. Manager, golf course, here's what I'd like to do. I would like to go ahead and offer a really cool benefit to everybody who comes to the golf course this Saturday and this Sunday. That's going to make your golf course look great. It's going to encourage people to come back here, and it's going to fill all of your, should we say, empty tee times. Would that be okay? And it won't cost you one dime. I'm going to help your business. You're going to help my business. And Robert goes, hell yeah, that sounds good. Here's what I'm going to do. On tee number 1, I'm going to put up a nice tent. Okay, and you can get these for $50 at Walmart. Okay, put up a nice tent with some signage that says Robert Weichelt, kick-ass realtor, whatever he is, type things. And the first thing I'm going to be doing, okay, is I'm going to be offering free lemonade. Now I'll get to that in just a minute because you're thinking, well, wait a minute, that's going to basically, cut off my my drink cart girl and my drink carts. No, it's not. It's actually going to increase that. So hold on, let me get to that. So I'm going to offer free lemonade or Arnold Palmer's. Yeah, those are great. Arnold Palmer to anybody who comes up. Nice big glass of Arnold Palmer to anybody that comes up. While they're waiting for their tee shot, okay, and while they're waiting to get up, and while they're enjoying their Arnold Palmer, I'm going to have them stand right in front of my banner that says Robert Weichelt Real Estate, and I'm going to take a nice picture of them. Then what I'm going to say, okay, guys, thanks very much. See you soon. Okay, when they come back around and tee off on T10, I'm going to have them to stick their head back in the tent, and I'm going to give them a printed out picture of what I just took with my information on it. Okay. And by the way, if you'd like me to email this to you so you have a digital copy of it, please put your email right here and maybe your phone number. So I'm building my database that way. Once again, databases are still important. But here's the thing. What you do is the average wait time, the average stand there, sit in your golf course wait time for the average pretty busy golf course is about 9 minutes. Okay, you're waiting about 9 minutes for your tee time. That's 9 minutes to discuss real estate in the local area with people own houses. And how many people come through a golf course every weekend? Like 300 to 400. So, and they're all homeowners. And you're giving them a picture. Okay, typically, when you do this process, typically of a full weekend, the average people who have done it have gotten one lead that became a listing or a buy, mostly a listing, per weekend. So it's usually one thing out of talking to 300 or 400. Usually you'll get a couple dozen leads, and one of them will become a deal. So all you got to do is sit out at the golf course, offer Arnold Palmer's all day, talk to people who own houses, tell them how the market is, tell them what you can do, tell them how you can get more than their equity using the 7% technique in your 9 minutes when you're sitting there, and they're going to talk to you because here's why. You're standing there giving them a lemonade or an Arnold Palmer. So they're going to stand there and talk to you while they're waiting for their tee off. Now, what you do is you put so here's the complaint of the owner of the golf course. The owner of the golf course, because it creates a better experience for everybody. Okay, the owner's going to go, well, that sounds really great, and I'm making my customers happy, which is going to encourage them to come back more often. But if I give away Arnold Palmer's for free, my drink cart sales are going to go down, and my drink cart girl's not going to make any money. She's not going to get any tips. Wrong, sir. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to serve things that are, should we say, cocktail enhancing. Because if you drink a beer, that's fine, and it costs $5 on the drink cart. But you know what those little airplane bottles that the drink cart girl is selling? Those are 10. Okay, there's way more profit in those. And everybody who has an Arnold Palmer or a lemonade wants some rum or vodka in there, so it actually increases your sales at your drink cart. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a big jar right on my table where everybody's getting their lemonade. It's going to say tips for the drink cart girl. Now, you just got a nice big glass of lemonade. Would you throw $1 in that jar? Everybody does. So at the end of the day, not only is the drink cart sales higher than they normally be, everybody had a good experience, but you go over to the drink cart girl and you hand her this big jar of money for doing nothing other than what she normally does. She loves you, goes to the manager, goes, please have that guy back every single weekend. So we've had people do this, and the results have been fantastic. Usually it's a lead or two every weekend that becomes a deal. So there you go. There's a deal just waiting to happen. And by the way, these listings that you get from these are high-end listings. Once again, if you're golfing, you own a nice house. That's just the way it works. Unless you're a college student, pick a golf course that's around a lot of nice houses. So that's one that you can do. The other one that I encourage people to do, if you really want to door knock that badly, oh my God. Okay, and let me see if I can find it here. And I don't know if it's around here. Maybe. Okay, hold on. Yeah. Talk amongst yourselves.
Melissa, we'll get to you in just 1 second, okay?
Oh, I found it. Here, watch this. Hold on. I got it. I got it. This is a great one for people who love to door knock. See this? Okay. This will make you the most talked about realtor. And this is $2. $2. Make the most talked about realtor in any neighborhood. What you do, you simply look on the MLS and you'll find a house that has been sold in the neighborhood that you want to target. That's all you got to do. Don't have it be a house that was sold or bought by somebody in your brokerage, either a different brokerage or yourself. You go down to the dollar store and you get this. Okay. Now, this is 2 of these foam boards. Okay. 2 of these foam boards. You tape it right there in the middle like this one is. What you do is you download the picture of the house that just sold. You put it right here and you put welcome to the neighborhood. It's a big greeting card. How awesome is that? And what you do is you walk up to the house that just sold and you don't go to it. You go next door or the next door over here. Now, Robert's going to be the guy who lives next door to the house that just sold. Knock, knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock.
Hello. Welcome.
Oh, there you go.
Hello. How are you?
Robert came to the door. Hi there, sir. My name's Beef Wellington, and I'm from Kick-Ass Realty because we kick ass. Okay. And did you know that your neighbors just bought? You have some new neighbors. They just bought the house next door. Did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see the moving truck? Did you see it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. Well, listen. Here at Kick-Ass Realty, we have taken the liberty of creating a big welcome card that all the neighbors are going to sign to the new owners, the Johnsons. Would you like to sign it? Hell yeah, you would. Okay. And by the way, your name is Robert Weichelt. Not good to meet you. Your wife's name is Carla. Fantastic. Have you ever thought about selling your house? Because that house right next door that we were just talking about sold for $850,000, which becomes a comp, blah, 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 blah. So you get into conversations with everybody in the neighborhood. You do this for the 25 houses all around. Then you go to the Johnsons and you hand it to them and say, we're the best real estate agent in town. Even though we weren't your buyer's agent for this, we went ahead and did this, took the liberty of doing this for you. They go, the wife, Mrs. Johnson takes it in to her husband and goes, this is terrible. Our realtor should have done this. Our realtor sucks. We should have used Kick-Ass Realty. And you become the most talked about real estate agent in the entire area. So there's another technique for you. So, Roy, does that kind of explain the whole golf course view technique? It's very, very simple.
Oh, I love the golf course. I'm a golfer myself, so everything you said makes perfect sense.
Oh, do this, Roy. Okay, golf that course 4 or 5 times. Okay, and figure out all the crappy sand traps and all the crap like almost like a midi caddy. Okay, and then when you're sitting there, you go, okay. By the way, guys, hole 3 has a dog leg where I've caught my ball on that left turn about 17 times. So when you want to hit it, start telling them tips about the golf course. You'll get them to talk all damn day. Okay, and they'll come back to you before they're about to tee off on T10. They'll get their picture. They'll give you your information. And I tell you, golfers want to list houses with other golfers, especially people who know what the hell they're doing.
Perfect.
I love it. I
Thank
love
you.
it.
Appreciate it.
Let's go to the next question. Melissa, go ahead.
Hi, thank you all. Beef, you're amazing.
Thank you.
I had a question about the 7%, and I wrote my notes here. I'm just reading from it. You said you had the 1% to what value? Is the comp value?
Okay. Let me kind of explain. The 1%, the 1% step is not needed every single time. Okay. It really depends on the house. But back in the day when we first started teaching this technique, let's say that we have a house that's $500,000 and the regular commission, and is the normal commission in Texas? You're in Texas, right, Melissa?
Yes.
Okay. So is the normal prior to the DOJ, and I know it's all the BRBC BS. Okay.
Yeah.
Was it 5% in Texas or 6%? Normal.
We were at 6 before things went left. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So 6 is the normal. Okay. So this is here. It used to be 6 everywhere, but California has dropped because California prices are so high. But let's say you have a normal 6%. What you would do to show the seller how you're compensating them for the increase in commission, because you're going from 6 to 7, so you can put a 4% buy side on. What you say is, Mr. Seller, here's what I'm doing. Instead of listing your house for 500, I'm going to list it for 500 plus 1%, which is 505. That extra $5,000 basically compensates you for the additional commission we're putting on the buy side. It's not really that needed. It's just to calm the buyer's head because he's still thinking it's going to cost him money. It's not, because the idea is even if you listed it for 500 with a 4% buy side, you're probably still going to get 505 or even 510, and that's the idea. So you can add the 1% if you want. In fact, we have a spreadsheet. Once again, thecareercompass.com. We have a spreadsheet where all you do is put the comp value of the house in the first box and hit enter, and it calculates all the numbers for you. It adds the 1%. It shows you what would happen if the seller went with a regular agent versus you and everything else like that. So it does all the work for you. So we'd be happy to send that to you. But the 1% is just to allay the concerns of the seller about this extra percentage point you're putting on the buy side. Most of the time you don't need it, but it's a good way to say, see, Mr. Seller, if we get 505 and we offer 7%, it's the same exact thing as offering 500,000 at 6%, because 500,000 minus 6% is the same exact thing as 505 minus 7%, roughly within a few bucks of each other. So I'm putting the same money in your pocket. But the idea is I'm going to be getting every buyer's agent in town to literally sprint as fast as they can to your house. So we're probably not going to get 505. We're probably going to, the initial offer within a day of listing is probably going to be 505. And then we're going to get 510, 515, and 520. We're going to close at 520. In a fraction of the time, I'm going to put a ton of money in your pocket. You're going to tell all your friends and family what a great agent I am. And what I've done here with the 7% technique, everybody, is I have done what? I've increased the seller's equity. That's your responsibility. I've increased comps. Okay. I've pushed prices in the area up. Okay. I've increased everybody made money. The seller made money. Okay. Every house around them made money. You increased the economy. You did everything that is your fiduciary responsibility in real estate, everything. And that's what the 7% technique does. And that's what the 5% technique doesn't do. And that's why I'm so dead set against it. But anyway, Melissa, my phone number is right in the chat box, as well as my website.
Got it.
Anybody on this call, okay, whether it be even Mike, God, okay, even Michael can do this, okay. If you guys want to, that's my cell phone. If you want to call me when I have more time, I don't have to speak at 80-mile-an-hour pace. I'll be happy to go over any questions that you have about the 7% technique, the EAT, the PAT, the lawyer letter, the deal of the week technique, and any of these techniques that you'd like. I'd be happy to go over with them. And again, you can find all of our events right at thecareercompass.com. But my number's right there. It's 619, which is the San Diego area code. So 619-840-840. Then the last four digits are WELL, WELL, 9355. So it's 619-840 WELL, as in Wellington.
I love it. Any other questions, guys, for our good friend Beef before we end this call?
Yeah, I have a quick question.
Go ahead,
for
Oscar.
Beef. Yes. So when you sent the confidential letter to the lawyer, passing the gatekeeper, and what is it exactly? Does it say on the letter? Yeah.
Okay. You have two short paragraphs and then a salutation line before your salutation. The first it just basically says, "Dear lawyer, dear counselor, dear whatever." Okay. The purpose of this letter. That's the first five lines. And by the way, Robert can give you a copy of this letter. It's also on our website. Robert has it. Please feel free to share it, Robert.
Okay.
Yourself. Okay. It basically is, for the purpose of this letter is to make an appointment in your office to discuss a strategic alliance. Okay. A strategic alliance is where I help you, you help me, no cost to each of us. Or more formally, Mr. Counselor, Mrs. Counselor, reciprocal referral relationship. Okay. They love that term, reciprocal. Okay.
Okay, I got it. And so just so we won't check and save you time. And then one last thing, when you mentioned about having your little post at the golf course, and you said you were giving a picture to everyone. What was the picture about?
Okay, you just take out your mobile printer. Okay, you have him and his friends, all the four golfers stand in front of your banner, kind of like this. Let's say that this is the banner that says "Kick-Ass Real Estate, Robert Weichelt." All four of the golfers just stand there like a tournament, like you get a picture at the tournament. Okay, and you can actually buy some glossy paper. It's just a simple print. Okay, and everybody stands there. So when they come back, okay, because you don't want to hold them up. When they come back, you print it. And I've actually had realtors put it in an actual branded little folder. In fact, here, hold on. Wait, I'll be right back.
And I'll get you guys, if you want, I'll get you a copy of that lawyer letter.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So what do you guys think? Is this pretty awesome or what?
Yeah, the
Absolutely
7%
amazing. I love
technique.
it.
Just of applause.
Here he comes. Here he comes.
See that? These are just generic folders. These are literally 8 cents a piece. They're just generic. Now look, there's the picture you took. You're the realtor of the 3 guys that just came through. What's right there?
The business card.
Your information. So what happens? You take this picture, say, "Okay, guys, come back and get another Arnold Palmer for the back 9. Oh, hell yeah, we will. That's delicious. It's delicious. Okay. Then they come back before they tee off at T9. They come back over to your booth and they get this. Okay.
So we took a picture of them?
This is about a 30-cent item total, about 30 cents. Okay. These covers are about 10 cents on you if you buy more than 1,000. This is just glossy paper. Okay. You have a mobile printer. It's like $150 item, maybe at most. There's your business card. That's it. Okay. You hand one of these to each one of the golfers. They take it home. And in the process of that, you get hopefully their email address where you can send a digital copy of this to them. So they get this digitally. And now you have their information. And within a weekend, you should get a deal doing that. You got 300 people. Okay. In a normal golf course, there is a tee off every, Robert, my golf course is a little different. They tee off every 12 minutes, which is 5 per hour. But a lot of golf courses, yeah, right, Roy, you have four golfers per group. That's 4 people. So there's about 5 foursomes an hour, which is 20 guys an hour, all homeowners. And you're out there for, I don't know, I know there's early tee times. 9 a.m. till, I don't know, 4 or 5. So let's say you're out there for 8 hours times 20. It's 160 people in a normal day times a Saturday, Sunday. You're at 300 people, all homeowners, all individual homeowners. You got 300 homeowners coming through that you've talked to. That's a really, really fast way to get a lot of wealthy homeowners in the area to know who you are. And they're taking your information home with them. Look, sweetheart, I'm drunk, but look what I got from the guy at the golf course. We could list our house with this guy. I don't know another way. Could you door knock for 2 days and get in a conversation with 300 individual homeowners? I don't think you could. More than 90% of the time, people aren't even going to answer their door. Why even bother? Why bother door knocking that area? Just go to the local golf course and talk to all of them in a friendly setting where they want to talk to you. You're giving them an Arnold Palmer. You're getting their information. This is them wanting to talk to you versus what do you want from, why are you knocking on my door? Go away. Okay? Who would ever do that anymore? Nobody wants to do that crap. So use creativity. And by the way, okay, do I have a relationship with any 3 of those guys? I do not. See, quit spending your time buying relationships. Spend your time buying the transaction.
Amen, brother. So let's do this. This has been awesome. I think you would all agree that this has been pretty powerful. Beef, what's the closing message that we want to say to the agents that are on this call or tuning in at one of our social media channels? What would you like to say to them?
Closing message is get creative, okay? Get tools, techniques, systems, and processes that other realtors do not know. So your clients and the rest of the area insist on using you, are not just using you because they might like you. Make people insist on your professionalism, your knowledge, and your way of doing business. Don't rely on just people knowing you and liking you. Make sure they know you and like you because you are better than every other realtor.
Amen, brother. Well, if you guys want to book a strategy session, you can use the QR code here. Beef, thank you so much, my friend. I tell you, it's going to be good catching up, and we'll see if we can, because Arnold Palmer's out there on the golf course, my friend.
Dude, when you come, I know you're in Kentucky, but when you get close to here, and all of the says, okay, I'm in Temecula. Everybody come out and drink wine with me. Robert and I are going to drink some wine. We're going to bring Carla and Donna. It's going to be great.
All right, brother. Everybody, thank you for jumping on the call. Beef, you're a man. And you guys have a great day. If you're going to stick around for the one-on-one coaching with Partner Plus, stick around. We'll be continuing that here in a minute. Scripts, role play, dialogue. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a great day.
Good luck and good selling, everybody.
Thank you, Beef.